Cody.
If you put your ear to the valve cover of 454, you can hear bald eagle screaming. Yes.
Okay, so it's New Year's Eve.
We're gonna do some big block shit. Do-da, do-da. I mean, we're bound to, right? Alright, so cam bearing fiasco is over with. It ended up being a total pain. Lots of me being mad, so I didn't film much of it, but new shiny cam bearing in. Well, it is. All the other ones in. Got it back on the stand. Obviously, got the back plug back in her. Blocks cleaned out and stuff. I'm going to wipe down the crank, blow it out with some air. Get these mains loosened all up because Tony was over. And see if I can, here it is. If you don't have a big yellow notepad and you're doing projects, what the hell? Anyway, I don't know if you can see all that, but that is Tony Math Magicianals right there. So, all my clearances look good. No need for plastic gauge. I mean, there's hundreds of videos saying or showing how to do plastic gauge and crap, and this ain't gonna be one of them because I already know it's good. So, we're going to pull some rod caps off. I already got the socket out, but I'll set you guys up on a little tripod thing. And we will begin to assemble. Alright. So now, we got some liquid courage, we got the socket, and a big ratchet. These are only 100 foot-pounds, so hard to do these ones here. All right, well, there's that. So now we just wiggle all the main caps off and we'll set them over there on the bench, which I got stuff piled in the way, but that's okay. Beep. There's one. I usually don't like doing builds, but this has got to be done by the end of September because of duct tape drags. Yeah. But brass. Funny fact, Harbor Freight brass hammers have rebar in them. Number 5 broke loose. Alright, so now before we begin, the rear main seal setup on this sucker is kind of goofy, being how right here, okay, main bolt, oil pump drive shaft. You see this? This is oil pass through. You have to put the O-ring here if you want oil pressure. Single piece rear seal, that's also 2-piece rear seal. I'll show you guys that. That's weird. But yeah, so pretty much got the block cleaned as good as I can for what I got. And yeah, look at the oil filter bung on the Gen 6s. I usually play with Mark IVs, so this is new technology to me besides the Gen 5. But these pretty high dollar bearings, which have the weird blue coating on them. Yep. Pretty freaking awesome, man. So I'm gonna get ready, get the crank kind of blowed out, and that's all noisy, so Yeah, all pilots come back when the crank's clean. Alrighty. Now, blew it all out with compressed air. Everything came out, looked pretty good. So now, we'll grab, paper towel here. Beep. Just kind of do it once over. Okay. So now, that's what I use for assembly lube. I don't know, ultra slick. I call it red and tacky, but it's because it's red and tacky. You know, it's got a safety seal on it, so you don't need it. I guess it must be good. That. Okay. So now, what I like to do is get a drip going. Bleep. Drip it up one side of the bearing, down the other. One side of the runner, down the other. Alright. Now that'll work for now. Okay. That seems to be pretty solid in there. Alright. See if we can set her down. Help if I put it in the right spot here, huh? Whoa, what's going on? Something not quite right. Oh, there we go. All right. Perfect. And then spinner. Seal looks lined up nice. It's weird. Rear seal. It's an outer. It's like a seal-saving rear seal. So I don't know what that's all about. But here's this O-ring that goes in that rear main. Being how I don't have a new one, and this is like a hillbilly rebuild, right stuff for the win, if I can make it work. Probably not here. There we go. Just a tickle. Probably that's more than enough. I don't want it like super coat. I just want a slight tack to it. Light layer. Very, very, very light layer. Beep, deep, deep, deep. Okay. So now, sit that in there like so. All right. Now, for putting the mains on, I put a dab, go side to side with the assembly lube and let it run into place here. Oop. Main reason for this is because you spin this motor over a whole bunch while setting up valves and degreeing the cam and stuff with no oil pressure. I prime these motors really good before we go firing them up. So I have a prime tool and everything. I'll show you. Probably be in this video. This will be a longer video, but make sure they all thread nice. Yeah. Number 2. Okay, the only thing I haven't measured, which we won't know until I get it together, which is end play on the crank, but being how everything is in great shape, we'll see. End play should be fine, hopefully. If it ain't, well, yeah, it's gonna have to be. I guess I could play with remain and all that and get it just right, but you know, what's the fun in that besides keeping the motor together? But I'm guessing since everything came out so great, end play is going to be in spec, so I mean, it's only going to have a trans brake and stall converter pushing against it. I guess it's slightly important. Alright, so all these ran down. Okay. Who else uses a tune-up ratchet for everything known to man? I do. I like the leverage factor of them. Just trying to seat the caps in nice. Draw them down as evenly as I can. And that one has a ways to go. Boop. Okay. That's probably 30-40 foot-pounds on the centers. Alright, if everything works right. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Cool. Main snugged up. Now I'll run down them, and I like torquing stuff in stages. Makes sense to me. That and gives my horrible shoulders a break. They don't do so hot anymore. Dirt bikes and four-wheelers and trees and, you know. Okay. There's that. Now, I borrowed a real torque wrench because I broke my last real torque wrench and, you know, a little better. Let's see here. Spec on these is 100, so I'm going to go up to 50 for a first torque. Do a dual stage 50. Alright, I think that's everything. Okay, since it's 100 in Arizona, GoPros suck in general. This one overheated, so last you saw I was torquing. Well, now we're ready to put pistons in. So I'm gonna put a piston in the ring compressor, blah blah blah, get it lubed up, and then we'll knock it in, and I'll show you how we do that. So, conserving battery and camera. All right. So we have 2-stroke oil, great value shit. I love it. Got beer, gonna need that. Great value ring compressor. They work. So what I do is immediately lose the cap, because that's what you want to do. You don't need it anymore anyway. Take you a pokey poke, make you a little throttly top. You don't want to go full bore. Make sure your ring compressor fits over piston. Makes it convenient. So what I do is take and I lube the rings real good. To smoke oil. Then I also take my ring compressor here. I don't know if y'all can see. Bleep. And I lube the crap out of it. Paper towel. Just because it's good to have. Ratchet it down. Alright. Anywho's and housers. As tight as you can get it. I tend to tap around them. Try to get the rings anti-gripped and slid in. Okay, so now cool. So got piston in there, all lubed up. I got this one kind of high, but notice the rubber fuel line. That's so you don't mess your crankshaft up. Okay. So now, we come over here. Boop. There we go, we can see. I'm gonna take, gently put it in here, and then I gotta tap a little bit to get this get the piston out the bottom, which I believe I just did. Yep, skirts are hanging out. All right, so now we're lined up, and we can just tap, tap, tap through. All right, so that one fought me. I needed a little more weight. I didn't catch the rings or nothing. She slid right in 2 smacks. So, there you go. Piston number 1 in the hole. I got the bearings in. Oh, you can see there. Journal's all lubed up, rod caps on. I think you can see. I don't know, I'm guessing. Sweet. So, now, we're gonna try that again, and we'll see. Alright, y'all can see now. Oh wait, I gotta snug that rod cap up. Draw it up evenly. And you know, since I'm here, we might as well. Actually, that's got one on it. 25. Like I said, step torque, I like it. Oh, I already got them 25. All right. And then we go 45. Right there. All right. That one wasn't quite there. Click, click. Click, click. That. There's that. Now, should be able to go. Beep. I'll leave this journal up before we start. Here goes another try. This is cylinder 8. No, 7. This ring compressor is being very, very finicky. I think it's because the pistons are so short. Okay, here goes nothing, I guess. That's how it's supposed to work. Now, remove my rubber. Leave the journal up real nice. Oh yeah. The other rubber. Rod cap. Beep, beep. Okay. Now, just put it on, torque it together. That'll be half of the motor. Run her up nice and even like. Good and smexy like. Snug. Snug, snug. Torque wrench. Snug, snug, snugger. Oh, there we go. Click, click. Click, 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 click. Okay. Well, there's half the motor. So, hey, look. More pistons are installed. Oh, that's pretty cool, huh? 8, 6, 4, and 2. Bleep. 7, 5, 3, and 1. Whoa. Magic-y, snappy thing. Shit, I got it to work. I just turn around and bam. Motor's put together. Alright. Well, it's late. I think that's it for right now. We'll be back tomorrow for, I don't know, camshaft install, degreeing, and I don't know, cylinder heads, maybe. Probably be a good idea. I think that needs those to run, right? So, I don't know. Alright guys, see you tomorrow. Alright guys, we're back. Last night, I degreed the cam in. See? So, first thing you do is find true TDC on number 1. And then you run your intake center line measurements per degree, right? So, I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can. There's a whole lot of other videos, which is why I did not make one. But see, Intake center line, 108. Okay, so you find your true top dead, and you measure the peak lift. You find it, then you go minus 50 thou on your dial indicator, and get the before measurement, which was 113, and then you go over TDC, and you get your after on the degree wheel, which I believe is 61 there. So you go 113 plus 66. Wait, no. Yeah. And then that'll equal 149 divided by, what was it, 140 divided by 2? I don't know. So you end up with a 1075 on the lobe separation angle, which, or intake center line, sorry. So on your intake center line, it's 108. It mathed out to be 1075, which for me, that's good enough. The only reason I do this nowadays is because you can't trust the Chinese timing sets. I'm not saying this one's Chinese because I bought a good one for this, which is probably why it's spec'd out good. But you just can't trust part quality anymore. So I pulled the timing cover off here, nice billet shiny. So I was just playing with my end play for my thrust button on my crank, and I got it really close, because this has got, I don't know if you can see down in there, bleep, maybe not, there's a thrust bearing right there. I don't know if you can see it, but so you want a little bit of tension on thrust bearing, but not much, so you want a couple thousandths of in and out, you know. So it's coming together. We can put the timing cover on now, and then after that, the oil pump, the pan, and everything can go on. Woohoo! We're getting closer, guys. So hopefully we'll have this going by duct tape drags, which is freaking coming up in a hurry, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to torque these bolts and then run my little lock tabs down on them, right? Get them 20 foot-pounds, bend those tabs over. I'm not going to run Loctite because I have a retainer plate, so it's fine. But when you get a good American-made timing set, spent $100 some odd, you can't, there is no slack in these chains until you wear them in. I've put some Chinese ones on to where you can go took, 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 took and move it, but look at that, like I can't. Yeah, no slop. So, dot up. I had to run this one at 2 degrees to get my timing right. I don't know if you can tell that. There's 2A right there, and that mark is on 2A, but so that's what we got. I'm gonna put the timing cover and stuff back on, and then put timing cover on, oil pump, I guess clean and inspect that real quick. So it's coming along, guys, coming along. I'm not good at videoing and doing all the technical stuff and not getting mad, so bear with me here. All right, we'll be back.